furious after their children with special medical needs, they say, went hungry and missed their medications on a flight home from summer camp.
Now, they were flying unaccompanied minors on American Airlines. Emily Burris is live at PDX with more from the families tonight and how the airline is responding to this.
Yeah, Dan, Jennifer, 9 children from Oregon and Washington finally arrived back here at PDX over the weekend after a 12-hour ordeal that started thousands of miles from home. The parents tell me they were flying home from a summer camp in Virginia for children with neurofibromatosis. It's a genetic disorder that can cause chronic pain and in some cases cancer. The Dino Doozer Foundation, an organization that helps these kids and their families, paid hundreds of dollars for at least 7 of the 9 kids to travel as unaccompanied minors. They flew out to camp just fine, but on the way back, their plane was delayed in North Carolina. American Airlines tells us it was a mechanical issue. The kids told their parents they spent hours on the tarmac and on that plane. They say their phones ran out of battery. Some didn't have access to some of their carry-on luggage that had their medications inside. Eventually, they had to spend the night in an airport room for unaccompanied minors. Parents tell us they were not given adequate food or enough bathroom breaks.
And I have a text from her that says, "Mommy, I'm so hungry. I haven't had lunch, dinner, or breakfast."
And they never gave us our meds. They weren't willing to, and I had a headache.
If their policy is that you pay $300 and some odd from an unaccompanied minor fee, that all that is just a name on a sheet, and they could care less what happens with 9 chronically ill children, then they need to change their policy.
What we went through was a nightmare, and we shouldn't have had to go through it.
Now, these families were really frustrated, not only with the situation, but also that when they reached out to American Airlines and the flight crew, they say they called flight attendants several times, and some seemed unsure of exactly how they were supposed to handle their unaccompanied minor policy. We reached out to American Airlines yesterday. They tell us in a statement, quote, "After boarding Flight 1736 from Charlotte to Portland on Friday, experienced a medical delay that caused it to remain in Charlotte overnight. The children were kept in our dedicated unaccompanied minor room where they were safe and comfortable in the care of American Airlines personnel at all times." They continued, "Our team is in the process of reaching out to the families involved and sincerely apologizes for this travel experience. We will be reviewing with our teams internally to understand how we can be better next time." Now, I've been following up with several of those families over the last couple of days here. Some tell me they still have not personally been contacted by American Airlines to receive any kind of apology. The Dino Doozer Foundation tells me they're having an emergency board meeting tomorrow to decide how they're going to respond to the airline as a group and hopefully deal with this going forward. Jennifer, Dan?
I know you'll keep us updated, Emily. Thank you. 2 AMR paramedics